All right. Well, hello and welcome, my friends, to today's episode of Talk Power BI. This is a bit of a different journey, bit on the personal side, but in some ways, this is the most important lesson that I could share. And that's what I'm here for today. If you're joining me online, let me know. Put your name in the chat box. Let me know where you are joining us from. And let me know the audio is working, the video is coming through great, and we'll get started from there. So I'm going to wait for that a little bit. I know there's a little bit of lag there. And, awesome. Charles Elwood says hello. Solus Matica, hello from Holland. Awesome, great. Oh, gotta silence my cell phone here. There we go. Oh, that was my own notification. I guess I'm live. My phone is telling me, so that's great. At least that worked. How's everybody doing today? And again, if you're just joining, just put in the chat box, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from, and we will get started on the session in just a minute. Awesome. Audio, video working great. That's terrific. All right. So I say we dive in. All right. So we'll start with. Actually, you know what? Let me kind of preface this. So yeah, let's welcome everybody to today's session. How to power on my inner journey to my outer success. Let's get things rolling. I'm going to start with this picture. I'm going to ask you, what do you see in this picture? So I'll just pause here for a little bit. And if you're watching on your phone, yeah, it might be a little small, but still, if you look at it carefully, something should emerge. All right, do you see it yet? There's a picture of a dog in there. Now, here's the thing. Once you see it, if you've seen it, then, take your eyes away and look back at the picture again. And you will see the dog right away. So the first time, it might have been a bit of a struggle. It's like, oh, what is that? And you can see it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I feel that's what truth is like. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So in today's session, I'll share something with you today, and it would be your choice whether you see it or not. That's going to be up to you. But I guarantee that once you see it, you would never be able to unsee it. Awesome. So often we talk about, well, we have desires. We all have goals. We want a life that we desire. We want something different. And I do too. But the real question is that, are we willing to do something different? And an even deeper question, and we're going to get into this in this session today, is, are you willing to be someone different? And I love this quote. So if you really, so it says, live like no one else so you can live like no one else, right? So we do want to live like no one else, but then we're not willing to do the things that those people do. And frankly, it's not really about doing the things that they do, but being the person that they are. And again, we're going to get more into that in today's session. So that's the thing about truth. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Truth is self-evident. Think about it. I mean, if you never noticed the sky before and somebody points it to you and said, hey, the sky is blue. Like, oh, okay. I guess the sky is blue, right? Truth is self-evident, but lies are not. Lies you gotta keep repeating, right? So imagine if you are in a job or relationship. I guess a job is like a relationship where you're not happy. What do you find yourself doing? Man, I mean, you probably explain it away to yourself many times during the day of why you need to stay in that job or stay in that relationship. I said, oh yeah, but I couldn't possibly do this. Oh, that's going on, and all that stuff. You know what? I'm okay here. I'm okay, right? So lies, you gotta repeat to yourself again and again and again, because if you don't, they break down, they start cracking, right? But you just have to reinforce it. You have to keep saying it again. Truth, not so much. All right, well, we'll talk about that. Oh wait, was that something? Okay, cool. Lies gotta repeat. So there's one lie which has been repeated so many times in my life, and probably each one of your lives as well. And we hear it. I heard it. Kind of right from growing up, from very well-intentioned people, including my parents and teachers, and the kind of the friends and peers and the society in general. And I've heard it ever since I was a kid. And then it kept being reinforced again and again as I went through school, as I went through college, as I went through my work and profession. And every time I heard the same thing. And that may be a clue. Like, why does it need to be repeated so many times? But again, if you hear it, kind of too many times, and that is a reality you're living in. But again, once you see the truth, the lie kind of cracks right away. It's not a struggle. It's truth. Truth is self-evident. So, what was my journey? And I'm slightly ashamed to say that I took this journey, and at some point the facade started to crack, and I started to realize that this is not, is this true? And started to question it, but I still didn't share that with anybody. I didn't change it the way I helped others. So the way I helped others is frankly the way I went through the system myself. What is step one? Well, step one is education, right? You gotta educate yourself. Oh, get your degree and then complete your high school, and then you gotta go get your degrees, and oh, maybe you're gonna go for a master's, and maybe you're gonna go for an MBA. All right, study, 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 learn, 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 study, 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 learn, learn, learn. Cool, right? And that's like step one. It's like, oh my god, and you're tired already. I'm like, okay, are we ready to start now? And that's what I started doing. I first started teaching like something really technical, Power BI. That's my Learn Power BI course. And I realized that, people did get a lot of benefit out of it. But hear me out, hear the rest of the story, and we'll see if they can get really what they want. All right, so that was step one. That's how my life went, and so I mirrored it in how I did things, and I started teaching Power BI. What was step two? Step two, I said, oh, well, I'm teaching Power BI to a lot of students, but they're not all getting breakthrough success. It's only a very few which get that breakthrough success. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna hack that. I'm gonna get them that professional success. And again, it mirrors my own story, right? It's study, 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 learn, learn, learn. Oh, work, 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 right? I mean, oh, get that promotion, get that bonus, da da da, all of that sort of stuff. So, and hey, and again, I mean, this thing has worked. So same as Learn Power BI, there were some results. This one, sure, there have been phenomenal results. You've seen a lot of them on our channel. You've met them and you've heard their stories. They are incredibly powerful, right? So step one, step two, learn, 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 study, 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 work, work, work. And then now, I've just kind of relaunching my channel, youtube.com/poweronnow, where I'm going to talk about step three. It's like, hey, how do you be happy? So I've done it. I've done it the way I went through, but is that really the path? So by the way, do check out the channel, youtube.com/poweronnow, and that one you can just go to the URL, or if you go to my channel, then it is the link on the slide as well. Okay, but let's come back to this journey. So this is the path, and of course this is the path I went through, and I feel that a great starting point for a new adventure, for changing yourself, changing your life, whatever, is to question things And you've heard from this from me before, and I love that quote. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. So that was me. That was me. I mean, I started, and this happened not recently. I mean, this was when I was working, and I started questioning it. So I looked at myself. Man, I was working in Microsoft, right? So again, it doesn't matter. So let me say this. Wherever you are, if you're not happy, ask yourself this. Is there one other person in the world who, if they were in your position, would be ecstatic? Would be happy beyond their wildest dreams? Oh, yeah, mate. In fact, there are many. There are probably countless, right? But still, I was there. I was working in Microsoft, extremely unhappy. Does that make sense? And that's what I was taught. That was the lie that was repeated to me again. Well, I don't know at that point it was a lie. I believed it. I was like, well, that's what they keep saying. Learn, 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 study, 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 work, 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 work hard, work hard, work hard. Oh, yeah, finally you're successful, right? And what does success mean? Yeah, I got the promotion. Oh, wait, but I'm not happy. Right? What happens there? So you start questioning it. And then eventually I realized that it is not true. Now, hey, you need to go on your own journey, right? So just because I say it doesn't mean it's true for you. You're going to have to look at your own experiences, and we'll talk about that in a second, right? But that was my journey. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a lie. And again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. I can't ignore it. I'm like, oh, what? You don't see it? I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? Lie, you got to keep repeating it to yourself. Truth is self-evident. So if that is a lie, what is the truth? And is it possible that it's hashtag backwards? Now, I'm going to start here. One of my favorite authors and speakers, Shawn Achor. He's brilliant. His book is brilliant, and his TED Talk is brilliant. He's really funny, both in his TED Talk and his book. And the good thing about this is that this is based on research and science. So he's a researcher, he's a scientist. He worked many years in Harvard, and then he works with businesses. And yeah, so this is not touchy-feely. They're running science experiments, right? I mean, they're measuring happiness with scientific scales and whatever. And yeah, they're running experiments. And based on that, he wrote this book, gave his TED Talk, and he said, we have it backwards. You think that once you work hard, you're successful, and you're happy. Well, happy people are more successful, and happiness leads to success. So that's good, and I would definitely recommend you watch that TED Talk. If you can, read the book. But here's the thing. There's a big difference between just reading something, watching his video, my video. You're listening to me right now, right? It just, you kind of learn something, right? Versus experimenting with it and experiencing it in your own life. So think about this. So somebody told me once, and I believe it, that the self-help section is often the largest in any bookstore, and we don't really have any bookstore, but if you look at the number of books in the self-help category, that's the biggest category so far. We all want it, right? But then why can't we change it? Why can't we just go read this book and, oh, cool, now I know, right? I mean, come on, I know that, I got to be happy to be more successful. But does that mean that I can be happy now? Well, it doesn't quite work that way. Let's go on that journey. All right, so let's talk about the experiment and experience. And again, you got to start from scratch. You listen to others, listen to me, listen to Shawn Achor, anybody else who you admire, but you got to start with your own journey. So I'll say, ask yourself for now, even now, like, hey, what has your experience been? And the good thing about humanity is that you don't have to just learn from your own experiences. You can look at others. I mean, that's why humans are smart. Like, oh my God, no. I mean, I don't have to touch the fire to know. Yeah, if I watch somebody, it's like, oh, they burned themselves. I'm gonna stay away. If they fell in a pit there, I'm not gonna go on that path. So that's kind of what was my path, right? So ask yourself, has this been true for me? Like, have I studied hard, worked hard, and Am I happy? Am I on that path? And again, look at others. And of course, I started looking at these really, really successful people. It's like CEOs of big companies, multi-million dollar companies, and them talking about. There's one guy I actually admire, Nathan Barry, founder of ConvertKit. Brilliant, brilliant, and he's amazing, and he's impacting, doing great work, running an awesome company, and he writes this annual newsletter, and I read that, and it was very insightful. In the end, he says, "Oh, probably the best thing that happened to me was I started seeing a therapist, and I'm glad I'm tackling my depression." Right? So all of these things, and so you start to question it. You start there. So that you're gonna have to go on your own journey. I'll talk a little bit about my journey. Now you've heard parts of it, but yeah, in this context, you'll see how it fits. So I left Microsoft with this goal, with this dream in my heart. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna help others. And I was doing a lot of things. Of course, it was two things going on for me. For one, it was my dream. I was truly passionate about it, right? Well, man, I had left my job. There was no paycheck coming. I went from that whole annual salary to a big zero, right? And man, I got kids, I got mortgage, and I'm like, oh my God, how do I do this? How do I do this? So nobody had questioned that I didn't want that bad enough. I wanted that, and nobody can question that I wasn't working hard. I wasn't taking action. Man, I was struggling, right? So I was doing a lot of work, taking a lot of action, but for a long time I really struggled because I was not getting the results. And I saw my savings deplete pretty rapidly. It's a scary sight, man. I mean, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And this was the first time in my life that I had experienced it, right? I mean, I had always been in one full-time job or another. The paycheck just showed up in direct deposit. I didn't have to worry. The bank account was always there. But the first time you go through this, it's something else. It's like a bucket of ice water dumped on you, where you have to check your bank balance before you make a transaction, before you write a check or something, and something like that, right? And I remember the first time I got my non-sufficient fund notice from the bank. I was like, oh, this transaction bounced. Man, that was painful. I wouldn't lie, right? But again, was I not doing all the work? Was I not working hard? I sure was. But then, what was the problem? So normally, most of us operate in this manner, where we feel like we're gonna do these things and we're gonna get a result. We're gonna have something, right? I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna do this, do that, and then I'll get the promotion, the bonus, the job, the client, whatever money is gonna roll in, right? So I'm gonna take a lot of action and get a lot of results, and then I'll be something. Then I'll be happy, fulfilled, relaxed, peaceful, feel worthy, feel loved, any of that, right? Take your pick, whatever you're kind of going for. But you probably know what's coming. Dang, could it be backwards? Could it be backwards? And again, I mean, hearing is one thing, mate. You're going to have to experience it, experiment it for yourself. Could it be that we be that different person, right? We be that different person, and if we take our actions by being that different person, we get the results that we're seeking. Is that possible? So if we need to be a different person, well, how do you do that? Like, I mean, how do you be a different person? How do you change who you are? How do you really change your identity? Now, I want to share a hack today, but that's why I'm starting that new channel, youtube.com/poweronnow. And if you go there, and again, you can get to it from my channel as well, you're going to find, watch the intro video. That's good too. And then one thing that I'm starting to do is what I call mindset diaries. And at this point, I'm okay. I'm okay if you feel that way, that this is crazy. I realize this is not going to be for everybody. Again, you can choose not to see it, but anybody who sees this, you can never unsee it. Once you start questioning and you go on the path, well, for better or worse, you're never coming back. You're never going back to the old approach. So yeah, mate. So youtube.com/power now. That's my goal, to share this journey with you. And again, this is not black or white. This is not something you learn and like, oh, cool, got it. This is a journey I'm on, and I want to take you along with me as I learn these lessons. Awesome. So are you ready for the hack? So for this, I'm going to ask a question. What do you need to get to be happy? And again, I mean, be unabashed about this. I mean, if you can say piles of money. Now, I need cash. Oh my God, I want to swim around in a bathtub of cash. Whatever it is, the big home, a trophy spouse, right? So yeah, let's just be candid here. Whatever it is that that you think you need, type that in. All right, so I know YouTube, there's a bit of a lag, and I think something happened with our class participant call today. So I think the link didn't work because I didn't see anybody on the chat. But that's okay. We'll fix it next time. So again, I mean, often, and it's okay. You know, again, you should not like deny it. You should not suppress it. And frankly, it's not something bad. It's okay to want a lot of money. It's just okay. Yeah, really, it's no big deal, right? And again, we have these things in our head, like, you know, money is this and money is that. Like, frankly, if you have resistance to that, then like, you know, there's something in you which, and hey, frankly, I'm working with those feelings too, right? At some point, and again, we got this when we were growing up. You hear so many things. And you absorb it without even realizing it. That I know the things that I have in my head, some part is that money is evil, like money makes me kind of feel guilty and so forth, and of course there's a whole other stuff about that. Oh, I don't deserve it, right? I mean, do I really deserve that much money? That sort of stuff. Am I worthy and all that stuff? So we have that garbage, but put that aside for now. Yeah, money is nothing. Money is, yeah, I mean, money is just energy, right? So it's so, and yeah, so I would, it's okay to list those things, right? So I want money, that's okay. I want a big nice house with a swimming pool, that's okay. I want, I don't know, I want to travel the world. Boy, travel first class. Yeah, have that seat where I can lie down. Oh, that would be nice. Man, I traveled to India. That would be really nice. So all of that stuff. And it's okay to list those things, want those things. That's okay. But the next question I'm going to ask you is, what happens when you get those things? What's going to happen then? So again, wish this was live, but I know with the YouTube lag, I'll kind of keep going. But so what happens when you get those things? So usually, when I talk about this, when I'm talking to others, and hey, when my coaches talk to me, the way it goes is that, I want a lot of money. I said, cool. Well, when you earn a lot of money, what are you gonna do? I was like, oh man, I don't know. I'm just gonna chill out at the beach. I'm just gonna hang out at the beach and that's it. Go snorkeling or something, jump in the waves, learn to surf, something like that. And then they go deeper, and sometimes it takes a little bit of digging. It's like, well, but what would that mean to you? And more often than not, it ends with one of these what I call core feelings, right? Which is, then I'll feel that I made it. You know, that I can relax. I'm at peace, and that's when, right? And of course, for some people, it can be different, right? So say, then I'll feel worthy of love, or then I'll feel love. Then people will love me, that sort of stuff, right? So that gets a little scary, and that's okay. You know, it's not good or bad, no judgment there. Or then I'll feel peace. So peace, love, happiness, joy, something like that. So some kind of emotion comes up. So my hack for you that is that you got to create that feeling now. And of course, everything that I've talked about, you know, the hashtag backwards, you know, we were building up to this, right? So be, do, have, not do, and then, you know, then I'll be happy, right? So you got to create that feeling now. So let's make that a little practical. Let's take it up an example. All right. So let's take money. And so if I have money, let's say that then I'll feel that I don't need to scramble. I can relax, and there's abundance in my world, right? That yeah, I don't have to like struggle for everything. It just comes to me, right? So that's the feeling you want, right? So when I have money, then I'll feel that way. When I have money, then I'll feel that way. Well, so if you are with me so far, if you have seen the truth and you've started questioning the lies, then you know the path that, oh, I need to flip it. I need to be that person. So then I can do those things while being that person, and that's when I'll get results. Otherwise, and again, this is a telltale sign. So the telltale sign, whether you need this help, and let's call it mindset help or whatever, right? Is a telltale sign is if you found yourself that, oh, I struggle, I do a lot of action, but I don't get the results. Guess what? Then you need it, right? So because you're right. I mean, yeah, it's like your outer reality can't be incongruent, right? Can't be out of alignment with what your inner reality is. Awesome. So again, right? So hopefully you're with me there. And then so let's talk about practically how would you create that. So again, if I had money, then I'll feel abundant, all of that. How do you create that feeling for you? Now, for this, again, you're gonna have to experience it with you, and I'll share a few tips with you. First of all, you will say, Avi, how can I feel abundant? Man, I look at my bank account and I have like, $1.40 in there, right? You're kidding me, Avi. I mean, this is BS, man. I need money. I need that to feel abundant. So cool, I get it. But if you believe in all of this, the challenge that happens is that if you look at that $1.40, and frankly, that's what I did when my bank balance, was kind of dipping low. Man, I would check it, check it multiple times later, and it was still the same. Right? It was not like it was changing. It was still the same. But you check it, and the mode that you're living in, who are you being at that point? Are you being an abundant person? No, you're not. You're being a person who is fraught with lack. It's like, oh my God, I don't have any money. 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 How can I get money? How can I get money? Right? And we stay stuck in this constant loop. So the first thing I would say you can do is to break that loop. All right? You got to break that loop. And again, it's just a trick, but it was taught to me, and I'll teach it to you, is that you promise yourself that the only time you will think about the lack of money, and it's like, hey, it's true, your bank account does not have money in it. It has $1.40. But the only time you're going to think about it is when you are faced of paying a bill, right? So I mean, if I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, well, these are the bills. I know I can't pay them all. What do I need to do? Well, maybe we can live without heat for a month, right? And I know, well, I haven't been in that situation, but man, I mean, I talked about the non-sufficient fund. That was like crazy. Um, it really you start to question the path you're on. But yeah, so you promise yourself that only when you're actually dealing with that stuff, only then will you think about it. But of course, if you realize that that's not what we do, you could be walking at the park, you could be with your kids, you could be with the client, you could be anywhere, and the loop keeps playing in her head like a broken record. I have no money, I have no money. How can I get money? How can I get money? Right? So that's what I'm saying. You gotta stop, mate. It's not helping you. It's not helping you at all. So stop that and promise yourself that, hey, rest of the time when I'm at the park with the client doing da whatever, right? I mean, then you're not dealing with that, are you? No. You're only dealing with when you're sitting down with those bills. So if you're sitting down with those bills, worry all you want. But outside of that, stop worrying. All right, so that's step one. Cool. So a lot of my mindset coaches, that what they talked about was to flip the reality and say what you want, and not where you are right now. But frankly, I found that difficult. So if what they would basically tell me is that if if you don't have any money but you want money, then you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm rich. I'm so rich. I'm filthy rich." Whatever, right? Something like that, right? But I've always found that hard. And of course, you can apply it in other situations where I don't know. Um, let's say that your business partner is a jerk, right? And so you're supposed to say, "Oh, he's so awesome. He's so awesome." And man, I haven't been able to do that either. So like, no, come on, right? So that hasn't worked for me. So what I like doing is I like switching it up, and what you can do is go sideways, which is think about it slightly differently. So I'll give you a few examples. So again, the goal is to feel abundant, right? Have that feeling because if you learned the lesson, right? I mean, be that person, and only by being that person, when you do the action, will you get the results that you need. Otherwise, mate, again, you've probably experienced it yourself. I certainly have. Work, results very little, right? So you got to be that person, change that person. So how do you do that? So I'll give you a few examples. So again, stop the loop, stop the worry, limit that. But what are you thinking at the other times? So at other times, if you want to be abundant, there are actually lots of tricks. So one is a gratitude journal. And again, happiness advantage, Shawn Achor talks about it. Gratitude journal is a really powerful thing. And all you have to do is once a day, you can do it in the night or in the morning, just write down a few things you're grateful for. That's one way to do it. There are quite a lot of other ways. There is, I like walking. It's a bit of a therapy for me. Often when I'm disturbed, when I'm going through a turbulent time, I knew before when I would change jobs, every time I would change jobs, man, I would go pace around somewhere. Actually, pacing around doesn't sound that good, but I would be out walking outside, and then you look at the blades of grass. It sounds a little crazy, right? But hey, go with me here, right? So you come so far. So hang on with me. So you look at the blades of grass. How many blades of grass are there? Oh my God, right? There's so many. And of course, it's in Seattle. So sooner or later it's raining. And like, oh my God, look at the raindrops. Nobody can even count the raindrops. How abundant are the raindrops? Look at the leaves on the trees. And hopefully it's not fall, right? And all of these things. And I don't know. And once you get rolling, man, it's addictive. And then you're like, you take a deep breath and like, oh my God, there's so much air. We're so abundant. Oh my God, this is awesome. I mean, I can keep taking breaths and they never run out. And on and on and on. And you keep experiencing, keep reminding it. And pretty soon you realize that, man, money isn't scarce. Money is abundant. So think about it. Take all the money in this world and, man, pool it together. There's going to be an ocean of money. Ocean of money. If only I could get a thimbleful, just a thimbleful. That would probably be good enough for many generations. So money is not scarce, right? So again, you can trick yourself into abundance. Ooh, I think I had another one for you, which I forgot. So money abundant. Gosh, what else? Thankful. Yeah. Well, I think I had a third one. Maybe it'll come back to me. Awesome, folks. So a little bit of different session, but yeah. Hopefully, for some of you, it made sense. If for others it was like, Avi, whatever, then that's okay too. But yeah, so youtube.com/powernow. Follow me there. Thank you so much for joining today. And the way I was presenting today, I was not able to look at your comments. So I'm just going to read through some of them. Himansh said hello. Thank you, Himansh. A lot of other hellos. Miko is here from Finland. Greg had a comment. That was me 6 months ago. Juan came in saying, checking the bank balance. That is me now. Awesome. So, oh boy, Lynn had a Power BI question. I think we'll pass that one for now. I just not in that mode, although it's always tempting. All right, cool. A lot of hellos earlier from Muhammad, Doug, Jivan, and Stephen, and so forth. Cool. Well, maybe let me talk about the mindset diary. So what I'm doing there. So folks, by the way, I had to overcome a lot of fear on my side, and thanks to our Pro Plus students. Thank you guys. You are my inspiration because for one, I'm teaching you to kind of overcome your fear and take action and be somebody different. That's the only group that I have ever really taught the mindset lessons to. And so you were my MVP, you were my guinea pig. Thank you for being that as well. And again, thank you for being the huge inspiration. When I see you taking the bold action, being this awesome self, then I'm like, how can I not do this? So this was a big step itself. But Mindset Diary. So some of you may know that I have been working with a mindset coach for a long time, and I feel that's been one of the biggest difference makers in my life. Before that, I think that was a therapist we're working with. And in this video, what is a mindset coach? I talk about, well, what is a mindset coach and really how they're different from therapists. I mean, in some way they both work with basically your mind, right? But how are they different? And basically there's a clue here. You're gonna find out that what's a sign that you may need to focus on your mindset. Not necessarily need a mindset coach. It's up to you. That's up to you. But you would need to focus on your mindset. So Mindset Diary, I promised my coach is that every time I meet with her and whatever issue comes up, whatever we talk about, whatever I commit to, I'm gonna vlog about that. So that's what has happened. So the very first one was I got off the call with her, and we talked about morning routine. And in this one, I talk about basically, kind of my takeaway from that and my commitment to that and so forth. So you can go along on this journey with me and kind of learn from this, hopefully. and again, also I realized that by putting it out there publicly, I'm holding myself accountable to a whole different level. Morning routine. So of course you can watch the video here for more details. But again, the thing that I was talking about, live like no one else, so you can live like no one else. But again, I mean, people want something different, but they're not willing to do something or be someone different. So I saw a lot of my coaches and successful entrepreneurs that I looked up to. They all talked about morning routine and so forth. And so I was like, oh, there's something there. And since then I've kind of adopted it, and that's been a huge thing for me as well. So again, more details kind of in the video, and so forth. All right, folks. So we'll call it good today. I would say it was short but powerful. I hope you felt that way. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, power on. Next time, what do we have? Actually, let's check on our channel. What's coming up next? So by the way, you can just, at the top of our channel, you can see the upcoming live streams. Ooh, we have some exciting stuff coming up. So we have the dashboard makeover. Is that next week? That is next week. So dashboard makeover. And then one of these, I think, should be a Q&A session. I'll check into that. And of course, later on in April, we are going to have our real Power BI project presentations, which are going to be super exciting. There is a $1,000 cash prize for the best real Power BI presentation. That's new. We're excited about that. So that's what's coming next. So I'll see you next time. Until then, power on.